Although I planned the 5th episode to be in January and about a totally different topic, I am very excited to be speaking to you today to wish you much better days in the new year. 2020 has been an unexpected package for us all, but here we are. On this 12th December 2020, let us cherish the good moments that we had and embrace with acceptance the anxious and painful moments. And in the coming 10 days, let's clear our worries and expect only the good. Only the good is coming our way. Only the good. My name is Manal Zainuddin, Global Education Consultant. Welcome to my podcast. This podcast serves to highlight education communities from macro and micro angles, leadership, learning, personal and professional growth across multiple disciplines. Education is holistic and as vast as and infinite as space. As we bring stories, interviews, talks, and projects from around this globe, I extend Plutarch's famous quote that I had posted in all the workplaces I have worked in. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Two weeks ago, and just 2 days before a sustainability competition announced its deadline for submissions, I, as a mother, was very excited to check with my 10-year-old daughter whether she would like to participate. The competition was part of Finland Expo Dubai 2020, organized by Sitra, the Finnish Innovation Fund, described as the Finnish Roadmap to a Circular Economy, Hagen-Helia University of Applied Sciences, and children's most beloved Christmas figure, Santa Claus, and in this case, he is surely Santa Claus of Lapland, Finland. The prompt was to share wishes for a greener, safer, happier, and more sustainable future. The virtual event took place on the 8th of December, and it was truly uplifting. Videos and letters as the children expressed their wishes for a greener, safer, more sustainable world. Parents, including myself, and schools had helped shape those wishes, but the mere thought that those 7 to 11-year-olds getting engaged in those ingenious ideas and innovations and showing high levels of creativity, effort, and grit to make the world a better place is fascinating. That's why I personally enjoyed that initiative and thought to speak about it here on this podcast because it is closely related to the purpose of conscious education. For us as a family, since the theme was sustainability, and since it was conducted through a university and governmental environmental organizations, it was a welcomed idea. My daughter was excited as we spoke about it. The first thoughts were about the environment, the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, and recycle, nature with its water and land bodies, and the roles of people, such as families, schools, and governments. Our practices as a family living in a city apartment are quite limited. We practice sustainability in the simplest possible ways, such as reducing products, mainly single-use plastics, and reusing material. One cabinet in our home is the storage of cardboards, wrap paper, paper bags, buttons, jars, rolls, and anything that can be reused for decorations, crafts, or other useful home innovations. For years, I used to send in cloth bags, reusable material to my children's school kindergarten section and to the kindergartens in the schools I worked in as a director to enrich their storage rooms with simple, non-purchased material for their hands-on activities. Those things would save money and reduce waste material. Needless to say, we as a family do not litter in any way. Sometimes I felt embarrassed when my children asked me questions like, why do people throw paper cups here at the beach and not in the trash cans? Because simply I wouldn't know what to say. And I am sure many parents have gone through such situations. We have to tell the truth, but at the same time still contain the main themes of family upbringing, the care for the world in which we live. Back to the competition preparation. After deep thinking, we chose to write about the other side of that coin. Before we speak about this other side, let me share with you my daughter's contribution with her own voice here on this podcast.
My name is Mia. It is great to speak about recycling for our planet, but I think there is something that is also important. This is a message from me to all moms and dads, to do what my mom and dad do. We always speak about nature and the environment. Every night at bedtime, we hug warmly and then remember our blessings, one of which is this beautiful planet Earth. We thank God for every person and everything, because we are all one. We visualize big mountains and beautiful lakes, birds flying above, oceans and rivers. Mom says that this should be the last thing we think about as we drift into sleep. That's how we create conscious love and appreciation. So when we make plans later, our plans will be more creative and good. This is my message also to children my age. Give time to such things, not only video games. I wish that we think and do more for our world, our beautiful planet Earth. Thank you.
Thanking my 10-year-old Mia for her beautiful spirit, I take this as an opportunity to speak a bit more about this other side of the coin. And I am speaking today as a mother and an educator. We cannot deny that there have been ongoing, relentless efforts over the past 2 to 3 decades to endorse environmental care and find solutions for serious environmental problems, such as pollution and waste disposal, deforestation, extinction of animals, loss of habitats, depletion of resources, and more. The World Economic Forum Global Risks Report 2020 specifies environmental issues referred to as risks and defined as uncertain events or conditions that, if they happen, can cause significant negative impact for several countries or industries within the next 10 years. The report states the following risks: extreme weather events such as floods and storms, failure of climate change mitigation and adaptation, major biodiversity loss and ecosystem collapse, terrestrial or marine, major natural disasters such as earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, and geomagnetic storms, human-made environmental damage and disasters such as oil spills and radioactive contamination. The same report mentions that the next 10 years are crucial. Quote, global emissions need to peak almost immediately and decline precipitously by 7.6% each year between 2020 and 2030. Unquote. The outbreak of coronavirus is tremendously adding to plastic pollution gigantic problem. Pamela Cook-Hamilton, the Director of International Trade at the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, says, quote, the sudden boom in the daily use of certain products to keep people safe and stop the disease is making things much worse. Unquote. According to the United Nations, and as estimated in August, around 75% of masks and other items being used during the pandemic will end up in landfills or floating in the seas. However, there have been successful acts for reducing, reusing, and recycling, just to name a few. Germany's recycling Green Dot system that started in 1991 and has been adopted later by more than 29 European countries, making Germany the recycling world champion as named by the World Economic Forum in 2017. Finland has issued the Finnish Road to a Circular Economy 2016 to 2025, measuring their progress through meticulous indicators in relation to the 2016 Paris Agreement, which 195 parties have signed and 189 ratified, striving to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees. Just a few days ago, I attended a webinar about the Slovenian Circular Economy Experience. The projects being made are truly impressive, one of which was that of Wooden Windows 4.0 of M-Sora 70 community, using discarded wood through an upgraded approach to make new wooden products. Schools are part of this significant movement towards circular economy, and this makes it even more amazing. Another interesting partnership has been launched in September 2020, the Green Economy Amazon Hub, to reverse deforestation and assist in the overall green recovery from the pandemic. In Mexico, a company named Nopalmix has been using biogas from nopal cactus in its huge corn-made tortilla industry. Now, this type of cactus can produce fuels because of its high source of sugars. The company describes it as green gold, since it's abundant and could replace the traditional use of gas and fuel. Summing this all with the 2030 Global Vision, the 17 Sustainability Development Goals, most of them relate to greener, safer, biodiverse environments. This is the green, and what is more beautiful than the green in our life? Nature and habitats. However, I do believe that this is not enough. Plans can be innovative, strategic, and well implemented, but they may still fail to achieve the aspired results. For decades, we have been speaking about almost the same topic, such as littering, dumpfills, and high consumption rate of communities. But sadly, our land and oceans are still suffering. That's why plans need deeply rooted visions, insurmountable passion, and well-practiced conscious routines to be complete. Stemming from my experiences in education, motherhood, and leadership, there should be dual efforts from the mind, the logic, the reasoning, and these are our sustainability goals and action steps. And the heart, the core, the source, and this is our consciousness. Combining these two through energy, and the world is mainly energy, we can start to create this new shift in our perspectives for sustainability. This is what I refer to in the title of this podcast as the white. My daughter's message about our daily bedtime routine is one of our family quality time since my children were born, and even before on an individual level. Bedtime is important because children should hear about love and care as they drift into sleep, so that these pearls of light and love go deep into their being. That's education. Not superficial, not shallow, but deep and holistic. During our bedtime talk, we discuss science and history, languages, and social studies, then gradually move to our life experiences and anecdotes. Children at this time are relaxed. That's why they become expressive and receptive simultaneously. They speak their heart and feelings, even the ones they do not like to speak about. Finally, we smoothly move to some gratitude talk, gratitude for people we know and those we don't know, such as community members, things we used and usually use, and the last image in their minds is beautiful planet Earth. When we decide to take action out of strong belief and appreciation of what we have, and here it is this beautiful planet Earth, Mother Earth, the generous, ever-abundant, loving source of our life, food and water, then we charge ourselves with inner strength to take huge, sincere strides, and with this comes true innovation. Innovation from the heart, not just to meet standards or to avoid a gruesome destiny in 2050. We need acts of mutual love and appreciation. And recently we have seen many people around this globe embracing organic diets and lifestyles and speaking about these positive, loving vibes. Well, we need more to amplify our efforts towards our sustainability goals, more families and more schools, more time for nature, less time for video games and social media. We have been going through difficult times, crisis after crisis, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. It is time to look beyond our daily tasks and deep into our being. That's when we connect with our true potential, and that's when our plans can be much more effective and meaningful. Thank you for taking time to listen to this podcast. It wasn't planned, and maybe that's why I am so happy about it. Our entry was shortlisted, and my daughter was so excited. I was even more because I know how meaningful such a theme is, and we all need to embrace that. Countries and governments are collaborating to achieve sustainability through sincere green contracts. Let us, as families and educators, collaborate through our white contracts. Stay tuned for the next episode. As mentioned before, my first guest, Margarita Hughes, primary educator and nature art teacher, a very special guest. Stay healthy, safe, and happy.